up, y'all? So I'm back with this particular topic because there are women who are still asking men if they truly desire good women. There are a lot of women out here who are really, well, seem to be really concerned about whether men still desire good women. Now, I think the issue for that question is based on what you consider a good woman, because there seems to be a difference between what men value and what women and what men think is a good woman versus what women think a good woman consists of. So I'll start by saying I think men do still desire good women, of course, but what's your definition of a good woman? Most men, look at a good woman as a feminine woman. This is the things that they've been saying for quite some time now. They want feminine women. They don't want masculine women. They want, cooperative women. They want women who know how to work with a man. They want women who, are understanding, loving, not combative and always trying to compete. They don't want this boss chick new type of modern woman. They don't want that. They don't want women who are independent but still want to be in relationships. I'll say most men want women who are going to be submissive, women who, want to be soft, loving women who are looking to cooperate with them. And what I mean by that is women who are not trying to be boss chicks and have their own independent lives but still want a man in their life. That is not something that men subscribe to. Most men don't want that. And I think it's quite the opposite of what women want. Women want security. Women want a man who can protect and provide. They want a man who is masculine. They want a man who is, 6 feet tall. They want a man who in their mind has all of the qualities of a masculine, tall, proficient provider and protector. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think women don't really understand what a good woman looks like to a man. And that's what's most important. I always say this, hey, you as the woman, you can want what you want. But if the men that you want don't want you, you don't end up with it. So it would make more sense to figure out what it is that men are looking for and try to offer them what they want, because if you are not what they want, then they're not going to choose you. You have women always talking about women are pick-me's, but all these women are still wondering how to get picked. So if you want to get picked, then you have to be what the man is looking for. So I think it makes a lot of sense to figure out, if you don't already know, what type of woman these men are looking for. Yes, men, there are still men out here who want to be married, who want families. There are a lot of men who don't have children. As weird as that may sound to a lot of women, because a lot of women don't believe that. A lot of women think that there's so many deadbeat, men out here who got children all over the place. That is a small percentage of men who have those children all over the place. That is not the majority, specifically of black men. That is not the majority of black men in this country. It's a small percentage of men who done, spread their seed all over the place with all these multiple women. That is not the majority of black men. So there is a decent percentage of black men who don't have children. And a lot of them would love to have children, but they have their priorities in place. They don't want to just create babies out of wedlock. A lot of these men would love to be married and have a wife and create a family, but they want something that fits into their category. They want a woman that fits their narrative. They don't want an independent boss chick out here, claiming she don't need you, but she wants you, and I make my own money and you got to bring all the money to. They want cooperative women. And I think it would make a lot of sense for women to talk to these types of men so that you can get a better understanding for yourself, so that it's not hearsay. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what everybody else is saying, but you can hear from the horse's mouth. You can actually have conversations with men and ask them what they're looking for, and they'll tell you. And it seems to be consistent across the board that most men, they want good women. They just want good women. They don't want this new modern generation of women who think it's all about them. They have no consideration for a mate. They really don't care about your feelings and what you want for the most part. And then once again, I'll say this is not all women. When I'm talking, I won't put every woman in this category, because I don't think that it's all women. But I think there's a lot of women who talk this way, and it becomes the narrative for all women. You know what I mean? Like a stereotype almost. Like because they're at the forefront and they're the loudest, this is what everybody is hearing. But I do think there are still good women out there, but you have to really differentiate yourself from the modern boss chick woman. If you don't think like that, you have to let how you think be known, because men will just put everybody in that category if that's all he sees. If that's all you see, you're going to start to believe that that's the only thing that's out there. So that's part of the reason why a lot of men are like moving on. They're looking elsewhere to try to find suitable wives for marriage so that they can build a family. I hear men all the time talk about how they want a little boy. They want a son to raise, and they want to build a family. They would love to have a daughter. They just want a family. They just want something solid. They don't want to have to be worried about giving their all to a woman who's not serious, and then she, flip his world upside down because she was in it, for a specific reason, and then when she got tired of it, she walks away, takes what she wants from it, and leave him hanging. I don't think anybody wants that type of scenario. So I would say it's kind of difficult in a dating age, in this dating age, because women want good men, but they want good men on their terms. You want a good man that fits all of your qualifications and has all of the things that you want, but you are not in a position to be what he needs you to be. A lot of these women don't really want to be considered traditional women. They don't want to have that traditional outcome or traditional life as it relates to their part. They want the man to be traditional. They want him to come whole and, the protector, the provider, all the things that would allude to a traditional type man, but they don't want to be traditional women for the most part. This idea of submission and cooperation and working together and being feminine and all that, a lot of women think that a man just wants a pushover. They see that as him wanting a woman that's a pushover, and he just wants her to do everything he wants and she gets nothing out. No, but I don't think that's what they're saying. I think that's how women are taking it, because they don't want to be what these men want. And I think that's the problem. That's a really big issue when it comes to dating. Men have always been consistent as to what they want from women and when it comes to relationships and marriage. But women have changed. Women have changed their idea of what they think a relationship should look like, what a man should bring to the table, and what they should be and do as the woman in that relationship. And it's not consistent to what men are saying that they want. So that's why men are not pushing the issue of marriage and relationships, because they don't believe that they can find what they're looking for. And I think for the most part, most men understand that, hey, a relationship is a give and take. I think they understand that. I think they understand that nobody is perfect. Well, they should. You're not going to find this perfect woman, and women aren't going to find this perfect man. But you have to be willing to work with each other. That's what a relationship is all about. It's not just about one person getting their way and the other one getting nothing. The man has to bring everything to the table, and you just have to be you. Because for a lot of women, they are the table and they're the prize. So in their minds, they think, oh, he has to cater to me because I'm the prize and he should be lucky to have me. So he's supposed to do all this while I can just sit back and live my soft girl life and just be cute. And that's just not what is conducive to healthy, stable relationships and marriages anywhere. So when you think about that question, do men still really desire good women? Think about what is considered good from a man's standpoint, because you could think you're a good woman all day, but if you don't have the qualities that the man is looking for, then you would not be considered a good woman for him. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.